If hard work is what makes people richer, if hard work is what makes people successful, then the hardest workers on this planet will be the one enjoying life to its fullest. The real juice is not about hard work, it's not about putting in more effort, but it's about increasing your capacity to hold and to receive. Because for you to achieve the things that you want in your life with ease, with balance, effortlessly, sis, we need to expand our energy. So rather than thinking I've got to put in more effort, think about what can I give to my body? How can I help my body respond more? How can I allow the energy in me to flow better? My name is Titilayo, and today I'm your wellness and mindset coach. And in today's video, we are going to be talking about how not to work hard or work harder and achieve all the things that you really desire. Because sis, you think that you not working harder, you not discipline yourself enough is the reason why you are not achieving your results. Sis, that's not the case. Because if you look at the richest people on this planet, if you look at the people that are having all the things that they want, sis, they are not working harder. So what makes you think that more hard work, more discipline is going to get you your results? Sis, you have been missing the real juice. The real juice is not about hard work. It's not about putting in more effort, but it's about increasing your capacity to hold and to receive. Naturally, we are abundant. Naturally, we have more than enough resources that we need to be happy, healthy, successful, to be able to fully express the full essence of who we truly are. We have all these natural resources. Just look at the ocean. The ocean is deep. The ocean has a lot of natural resources in it. Yet, it does not see itself as, oh, I have to push harder. The ocean does not come in full force every day. It does not come in so much effort to show forth the fullness of who he is. The ocean moves majestically. The ocean takes its time. The ocean decides when they want to come out or not come out. Sis, you are the ocean. I am the ocean. You are the waves, the ripple on the ocean as well. Sis, if we believe in the ocean, if we trust and cherish how the ocean flows, we are not rushing the ocean. We're not saying, oh, this ocean needs to work harder. This ocean needs to put in more effort so that it can show off its beauty. We're not saying that to the ocean. Why do we think we need to push ourselves harder? Why do we feel we need to put in more effort? Sis, you got to think about this. I used to think to myself, we need to work harder. If you really want to achieve the things that you want to achieve, you need to work harder. You cannot keep working at this pace. You need to discipline yourself more. You need to put in more effort. You need to double down. So I said to myself, okay, I'm going to wake up 5 o'clock every morning. I am going to do my workout. I am going to go for a run at 4 a.m. I am going to learn a lot. I am going to start reading. I am going to start studying. I am going to have deep moments of work. And sis, I put myself to it. I committed to it. And then I started doing it. But then, sis, what happened? I got tired. I got stressed. I was forcing my energy, pushing my body. And still, even doing all the hard work, the results were slow. I'm not saying that working harder doesn't bring you more, but if you work harder and then look at your results, do you think the effect of you pushing a little bit harder makes your result happen? So why do we still go on this mentality that hard work is what brings results? Because sis, it's not. Because if hard work is what makes people richer, if hard work is what makes people successful, then the hardest workers on this planet will be the one enjoying life to its fullest. So let's break it down. Because you see, our energy is something that we need to build on. Our energy is not something that we need to force. Just like when we were younger, when we were a baby, can you think about the energy you had in your body as a baby and now the energy you have as an adult? Was that energy forced for you to grow to the adult that you are now? No, sis. No one built their life on force. The flowers did not even force themselves out. There was no extra work needed. The house we live in was not forcefully built. So why do we force ourselves? Because energy cannot be forced. Energy can only be built. And this is the missing piece that we are missing as a generation. A lot of people know what to do, but a lot of people are still missing that piece. Now, for you to not work harder, there are specific things that you need to do. And it's so simple. You increase your capacity. Increasing your capacity is increasing your energy, because you see, the thing that we have in us, this energy that we have in us, is expandable, expandable more than we can ever imagine. And at the same time, you can shrink it down, shrink it down to more than you can ever imagine. However, whether you expand it, whether you shrink it, the energy is still there. It still has power. But the more you expand your energy, the more you can get, the more space you create, the more you can hold. And this is what we want to talk about today. Because for you to achieve the things that you want in your life with ease, with balance, effortlessly, sis, we need to expand our energy. So we are going to talk about 4 ways that I use to expand my energy. There are more ways that you can expand your energy. Literally, you can break them down into as many ways as possible. So the 4 ways are sleep, nutrition, your nervous system, and training. So let's break it down. So let's talk about sleep. A lot of people do not prioritize sleep. A lot of people do not value sleep. A lot of people actually say, oh, the earth is for working. When we get to heaven, we're gonna sleep. Sis, if you think like that, you are just depriving yourself of a lot of riches, a lot of benefit. You are actually even shrinking your capacity to receive, because sleep, is huge. If you want to learn more about sleep, I'm inviting you to pick up my Smart Reset Rest and Recovery self-led program, because it would help you expatiate and help you have a new relationship with sleep, so that you can receive more, so that you can expand your capacity to receive. You see, sleep is where the magic happens. Sleep is where your energy goes back to restore. Sleep is where inspiration, ideas, your habits are built in automatically into your body. Sleep is what replenishes this body. Sleep is what heals you. Remember, when you are ill and you go to the doctor and you have a flu, and the doctor has given you some medication just to calm the pain, what did the doctor say to you afterwards? You need enough rest. You need enough sleep. However, why do we not do this on a regular basis? Why do we have to push our body to the extreme and be exhausted before we decide to sleep? And even when you're so exhausted and you decide to sleep, that sleep is not going to be healthy enough. It's not going to be sufficient enough, because you have rewired your body to move out of rest, and your body is now trained to be turned on all the time. So it is now going to be difficult for your body to now switch to resting. So sis, I'm urging you, I'm inviting you, pick up my rest and recovery mini program, because you will learn a lot about sleep and rest and how to increase your capacity through this channel, because it is only when you are resting enough, when you are sleeping, that is when God gives you more. When you are on the move, working, doing, moving, fussing, pushing, God is not available to give you anything, because he knows or she knows that you cannot hear her, because your mind is focused, narrow on whatever you're pushing. So you're not opened. The only time that you're going to be open is when you're sleeping or resting, or you're just calm, not doing a lot. Because sleep doesn't have to do with when you actually go to bed at night to sleep. Sleep also is about you taking rest, taking mini pauses between your work. Because it is in that still silence, it is in that calm environment that you can actually receive. Have you tried it with a child or with another person? You want to give them something, you want to give them a gift, but then they are busy moving, pushing, forcing, controlling. Are you going to be able to stop them and say, oh, let me give you something? Even when they get to a point and you want to give them something, you're thinking, just stop. Can you just stop for a moment? Says you need to start seeing sleep as the biggest vessel that you can actually increase your capacity. Now let's talk about nutrition. Nutrition, it is huge, because you are what you eat. Whatever you take in, you bring out. So sis, your nutrition has to do with your energy. And a lot of the time, we are always like forcing our energy to move. We feel that we are not disciplined enough. We are not putting in more effort, when already the energy is not being fed properly. The energy is fed low quality foods, unhealthy food that deprives it, that makes it stuck. The energy wants to flow, but it is stuck in your body. It is not moving, because the food you're giving it is just decreasing the energy that could flow easily and with balance. And then you think to yourself, I've got to push this body more. I have got to put in more effort. Maybe I need to wake up at 5 a.m. Maybe I need to wake up at 4 a.m. I'm not saying you should not wake up early if you want to. I'm just saying, don't push and force the body out of balance. Firstly, increase your capacity. So rather than thinking, I've got to put in more effort, think about, what can I give to my body? How can I help my body respond more? How can I allow the energy in me to flow better? What food would activate, increase my energy? And I'm not saying you should go to coffee because coffee is for short-term boosts. Okay? So sis, if you have been addictive to coffee and using coffee, you might want to slow down on coffee and start thinking of healthy, vibrant food that your body, your energy doubles up and works perfectly with. And that is another way for you to go and buy my Smart Reset Body Foundation, because we talk extensively about nutrition. There are recorded videos, there are reflection prompts, there is a balanced meal sheet and structure that you can use. It allows you to reframe the way you see your food and your energy. It allows you to start using the right time and eating them at the right time. It allows you to just rewire the way your body responds to certain food and start accepting and rejecting certain food that is not going to work for your body. So sis, the second way to increase your capacity to receive more and to hold more and to allow your energy to be built up more is by paying attention to the foods you eat, because it will make a whole lot of difference. And once your energy is able to move freely, do more, sis, you don't need to work harder, because naturally your body is just moving towards your visions, your goals. Another way to increase your capacity to receive, your capacity to have more without doing more, is your nervous system regulation. You see, a lot of us in this day and age, we are always on the go. We are always living in the fight or flight mode. We are always exhausted. We are always pushing. We are always proving, always trying to control, always on, so much pressure. But we never come onto the other side of rest, recovery, digest, calmness. We don't know how to balance our nervous system. We are always on the sympathetic way of operation, and the parasympathetic way of operation is something we are fast to go into. So 80% of our lives, we are pushing, moving, hard work, discipline, and the 20% we are first to slow down. Sis, we need to regulate our nervous system. We need to come back into balance, because there is so much damage that you are doing to your energy and your body when you keep working on this mode of just pushing alone. You need to learn to balance both modes together. You push a little bit, you rest. Take more rest, push a little bit, then you rest. Balance. By creating little spaces in your life, in your daily working hours. So you could decide, I'm going to work for 2 to 3 hours, but I'm going to take a break after that. You could decide, I'm going to work for the next 3 weeks, but then I'm going to take 3 days off work. You could decide every other day, I'm going to spend 1 hour at the spa just to relax, just to calm the nervous system. Again, you could decide I'm going to go for a massage every other week or every week just to bring back balance. You could decide I'm going to avoid energy drainers, overthinking, trying to make too many decisions, vampires, removing energy vampires from your life so that you could calm the nervous system. Sis, there are various ways that you could do that, and I discussed that in my self-led programs: Body Foundation, Rest and Recovery, Energy and Environment. Sis, you want to sign up, buy one of these courses, because it would give you the full details. You would be able to embody it. You are not just listening to the videos, you are also embodying it, because there are reflection prompts there that you can use. There are ways that the videos have been structured that allows you to embody this fully. So sis, do not miss the opportunity, because when you know the truth, you cannot unhear it. You cannot pretend that you do not know the truth. Your body will remind you. Your mind will remind you. So sis, stop resisting. I'm inviting you to buy that course. It is inexpensive. It would change your life, and it would increase your capacity to receive, to hold, without overdoing, without working harder, without over disciplining yourself, without over efforting. Now, the last bit is strategic training. Strategic training is not just about physical training. Yes, physical training counts, because we've got to move the body, because our energy loves movement. Movement likes to flow. And if you're not moving your body on a daily basis or even regularly, you are stocking up your energy. Your energy cannot be increased. Your capacity to do more cannot be increased. Your strength, your muscle cannot grow. You are actually shrinking it. So physical training, strategic physical training is very important. So physical training is part of it. Mental training is also very important. By reading, learning more about your environment, learning more about yourself, learning more about your work, learning more about the things that you are passionate about, learning more about what increases your energy, what gives you more life. It's so important. Emotional training is so important. When you do a lot of emotional training, you are also learning how to regulate your nervous system. You are learning how to move away from reactions to responses that comes from your inner being. You are learning to not work on automated responses anymore, but from your true identity. You are also recreating a new identity of who you are and working from that soul place, rather than letting your emotions dictate to you, your feelings dictate what you should do. You take control and you are in charge. Intellectual training is also there. And any other training that is important for you, you have to strategize it, put it in. Sis, when you work in this 4 areas of your life, you are actually increasing your capacity to receive and to hold more. Because sis, once your capacity is increased, once you have enough space in your life for your energies to flow freely inside and out, you are golden. You don't have to force. You don't have to push. Increasing your capacity to receive also has to do with having structures within yourself, in your life. And this also falls under strategic training, because when you train your body, your mind, your soul, your spirit, you're going to set in structures anyway. Even with your nervous system regulation, you set in structure. Even with your nutrition, you set in structure. Even with your sleep, you set in structure. Even with your work, training, you set in structure. When there is structure and everything is moving in a rhythm, oh, sis, you will stop forcing, pushing yourself to work hard. Everything just comes to you with ease. All right, my queen, I will see you in the next video. Bye.